Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is me, your English language instructor Muhammad Hasnain, once again with all of you people. And as you people remember, we are once again back at our 30 days crash course. So there is a rule of ours. We won't do the revision after 7 days. We will do revision for 1 week continuously, then we'll start our next week. So as we have started our next week and we are on day 8, so let's go ahead and start a new week and start the second week of our whole course. So let's begin. First of all, as you people remember in our past classes, past week, as I said, I won't do revisions all the week for the next time, but I'm going to do it today because why not? So we studied about the basic structure, we studied about the vowels, consonants, articles, we studied about pronunciation, we studied about type of sentences and WH questions, etc. We studied all of those things. So if you didn't listen those, go ahead and listen to those. And we also learned about listening and many more things. And today we are at the very important topic, which is enhancing reading skills. Now, first of all, what are these reading skills? These supposed reading skills. So, reading skill is a skill where you can skim or scan a contextual article, column, book, anything within a less amount of time, not the amount of time that a child can take. You do it with a less amount of time or with lesser amount of time. So, you enhance your skills or your reading skills. So, we have a few things that we include here. First of all, how to enhance our reading skills. We are going to talk about that. And after that, finally, we are going to give you some tasks that you have to give us and tell us that how good are you at it. So let's get ahead and let's start our topic. First of all, we have skimming and scanning. What is skimming and what is scanning? Skimming is one of my favorite techniques and scanning too. They are technically both together, but I take skimming as separate and scanning as separate technique. But these are some of the greatest techniques you can find out there. What is skimming and scanning? Skimming means indirectly when you are not reading the full passage. For example, there is a passage with me here. So I'm not reading the full passage. I'm just going a look. I just have a look of the whole passage. I just read the passage a little bit, and after that I get the context. I get the meaning. So I don't read it in detail. I just go through it. I flow with the words and I go through it. Scanning means reading in detail. When you read in very detail and know every single plot, every single detail that happened inside the book. Usually when we are in our school colleges, so before papers, like when it's our free days, so we skim. So that when it's like kind of like question answers, so we know the answers. But when it's papers, so we scan. So that we can know every single detail, so that we are left with no certain queries in our mind when we are inside the paper, or we don't turn blank. So for that reason, skimming and scanning is very important. And let me give you a task. Tell me one book that you people, or one article or anything that you people have skimmed and scanned, and which one was more useful for you, skimming or scanning? What do you think, which one was more useful? And give me one articles that you people skimmed or scanned. So next is with us understanding inference and context. Now what is inference and context? Now here what they mean is the main idea and the context. Context is also kind of like the main idea, but moreover a detailed version of it. So we understand what was the plot in here, like as they are saying. So we understand what was the plot in inference, what was the climax, what was the rising action, what was the falling action, what was the beginning, what was the conclusion, what was the action or climax, whatever you want to call it. We understand those things in inference. And after that we have context. What do we understand in context? We understand the main story. What happened in the story? For example, something happened that changed the hero's line, or that changed the hero's timeline. Like for example, his parents died. So in his timeline, his parents died. Like there are always variation to novels. There are not always the same novel that goes around. Like for example, there is the short little poem of the cricket, the lazy cricket and the hardworking ants. So there are a lot of variation to it, even Urdu variations and many more type of variations that you can find out there, and there are even cartoons and many more things. So it's not the same thing, but the context, the theory is majorly the same, and it shows us that what happened in the original or whatever timeline of the hero you are studying, what happened in that timeline, and also shows you the main idea, so that if in the future you are reading another version of the same novel, the same poem or the same anything, so you will have the context of what's happening inside this poem, and you will be able to understand it, and you will love it. It will be very easy for you if you do that. So reading comprehension exercises. Now the most easy way to understand something is by reading comprehensions. Comprehensions are pretty easy, but pretty long too. They are long. In papers you have to listen and read them, because if you don't, of course you are gonna have no answers and you're gonna fail your test. So for that reason you should be prepared in advance, and you should read comprehensions. It will help you a lot in your future, because comprehensions are long, but they are short, brief, because the theory that they are showing you within 1 page or within 2 pages or within even 5-6 pages or 10 pages, for example, what they are showing you in these pages, usually in a novel or in anything, if they were showing the hero that had the same things going on in his timeline, for example, or if there is a theory about pollution, etc. So as a student of a junior class, so if there is like a pollution related topic on comprehension, so for that in novels or in books there will be like 10 to 12 pages long theory about how these things are affecting our society and how are they problematic to our society, and why should we not do this, that. So they're going to elongate it. Meanwhile, in our comprehensions of our school, we have 1 pages. So it's brief, better, but you get the context, you get the falling action, rising action, and you get the conclusion, and you get climax. And then you can also skim it, you can also scan it, you can also do all of these things with the exercises that you have. Then finally, text analysis. It's not analysis, it's analysis. If anybody who pronounce it as analysis, it's incorrect. Text analysis. So text analysis shows us that what actually happened in the text. Indirectly, it's kind of like scanning, but indirectly you are here actually analyzing. You are critically thinking that what is happening here. You are a critic at the moment when you are analyzing it. So you are kind of like a person, like for example, when you are going to give a summary of the poem, or when you are going to give for example, you are going to break down the different parts or the different quotes of the poem and just give a description to all the quotes, smaller quotes, and you're going to give your personal idea upon the poem. So you analyze the poem first, you analyze the novel first, and after analyzing it, you are able to give your summary, whatever you want to give, you are able to give that pretty easily. But without that, I believe it's pretty impossible to do that. So for all of you there that want to learn English and also want to learn reading, so for you people the best choice would be to learn comprehension reading and to learn all type of readings by my course, and you can also enhance your reading skills. So this was all for our today's video. Thank you so much for staying with me, and I'll meet you in my next video. Thank you so much.